this week's Monday Music Motivation. Holy smokes, there's tons of other crazy fun stuff going on today and stuff that I'm sort of getting ready for and working on. So there's going to be a lot of extra information, but I also think today's actual motivation tip is one of the best by far. So I think it's going to be a great Monday motivation session. Let me just get everything shared around so that everybody has access to this. And while I'm doing that, let me tell you about the first very exciting thing. So last week, I did a free training, a live sort of webinar training thing last Monday. It was awesome. It was called Anxiety Free Performance Through Simple Practice. And people loved it. I had a ton of fun on it. I think it was super successful and really beneficial for a lot of people. In that, I talk about some sort of time sensitive things, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So I think it makes sense for that training to come down when that other stuff starts so that it's not weird. Like I'm talking about things that are going to be happening in the training, but then they're already happening if you're watching the future replay. So I'm taking that training down when the first one goes out, and that's happening this afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Mountain time, 4 p.m. Central time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, whatever, at least United States time zone. I'm not good enough to calculate to the European time zones, but hopefully that'll help. 5 p.m. Eastern time to today, this day, Monday, the 26th of September, 2022. That training is going to be coming down. So check the description. If you haven't watched that yet, I highly encourage as many people as possible to watch it. So check the description. Even right now, if you want to open that link in a new tab so that you can go right from this to watching that, that would be a great thing to do. I'll give you a little tease too about what's happening today and why I'm taking it down. I'm starting these implementation emails for people who own the next generation clarinet method. So if you're watching this and you're a next generation clarinet method owner, keep an eye out on your email for the first implementation email. I also think I might add this in to the first one. That's sort of the instructions. I highly recommend just making a folder to put these implementation emails in to go back to, because I think they're going to be super valuable. I've written the first couple already, and they're like really some of my best stuff. Very inspirational, very good information, actual tangible strategies for you to implement. So if you don't have the next generation clarinet method, go to the link in the description, quickstartclarinet.com/nextgenbook, and get that before that first implementation email goes out at 2 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern this afternoon, so that you can be a part of that and get all of that awesome inspiration, motivation, actual tools to help you take your clarinet playing to the next level. Now, speaking of tools to take your clarinet playing to the next level, let's get into today's motivation topic. And this one I kind of learned not the hard way. It wasn't like I had a performance coming up and just flopped on the performance or anything terrible like that. But Tony Robbins has this quote: if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. And if you schedule it, it's real. And I really learned that last week. So let me tell you a little bit about how things went in my practice last week and my little goal template and how that went. So I had planned it. You can see, I put it in here as Tuesday at 12 p.m. to learn the next couple pages, but I forgot to put it in my calendar. I had a plan, I envisioned it, but it didn't actually become a reality because it didn't get in my calendar. We're doing some office renovations, so I had a guy coming to measure the dimensions to put in new carpet in the office, and I was planning. I put 12 p.m. because that was like the latest time, so I was planning just like he'll come and then I'll practice after that. But it ended up he came much earlier than I was expecting, and then I had another meeting, and then I didn't have it in my calendar to practice, so half the day went by. I was getting ready to teach my other lessons, and I was like, oh, I didn't actually do my practice for today. And I think it's so true that if you're waiting for the sort of motivation to feel like you want to practice, you're not going to be practicing nearly as much as you could be or should be. So the real secret is to actually schedule it. Put it in your calendar, put it in your planner, however you keep track of your schedule. Schedule it so that's an actual appointment. You have a dedicated time to do it. It feels so much better to have that dedicated time as well, so that you know that this is my practice time. This is what I'm going to be doing for this time. And you don't have to worry about other stuff while you're practicing. It's just the best way to actually make it happen. So as you're doing your planning for today, I want to really encourage you to actually put it in a schedule, put it in your planner, put it in your calendar, wherever you keep track of your appointments, and treat it like it's an appointment. If you were going to the doctor's, you wouldn't miss out on that. If it was a school class, you hopefully wouldn't miss out on that. So treat it just as important as any other appointment, where you're going to really clear your calendar and that's your practice time, and you do it. When you schedule it, it becomes real. Speaking of scheduling it to become real, again, you have just a few hours left before that replay comes down. So check the link in the description, open up that link, maybe find some time in your calendar today. Even if you have like an hour lunch break, that's enough to get some out of it. Even if you have to play it in the background, I think you'll still get some out of it. Of course, it's best to like really digest it, which maybe we'll talk about that in a future Monday music motivation, but schedule it and it becomes real. So that leads us to our last activity, to actually schedule it and plan it. So I'm actually going to be traveling internationally this week and on a bit of a vacation for the next week and a half. So I'm not going to schedule anything for myself, and there won't be a Monday music motivation next Monday. So hopefully you know how this works. You have the date. So for this week, it'll be 9/26. For next week, it'll be October already. That's crazy. October 3rd. Then you reflect on how things are going in general, set a very specific sort of week goal that you can accomplish, and then plan the actual times that you're going to practice that and implement it. And then most importantly, take that plan and put it into your calendar, put it into your planner, or wherever you keep track of your daily tasks, so that it actually gets done. And again, even though I'm not going to be here next week doing this video, maybe you can schedule for yourself a little time to actually go through your plan, reflect, goal, all that good stuff. Hopefully you know how that should work by now, so that you can get that done for next time. And the one last little tip nugget, just a little bonus tip for you, is it's super okay to take breaks. Even though I didn't have an amazingly productive week last week, and I don't necessarily feel burned out on practicing, I still have this nice vacation where I can sort of recharge, reset things. And I actually really love coming back from a little bit of a break, because yes, a lot of the good habits have decayed, but also the bad habits decay as well when you take a break. So you can come back to it fresh with all the knowledge you have about how to play most effectively, and then sort of get a good foundation right from the start. So hopefully this is helpful. Don't forget to schedule it. Fill out your plan right when we're done with this. Schedule a time to watch the replay if you haven't. Or I had several people asking me when it's going to go down, because they just want to watch it one more time and take a little bit more notes, because it was really that valuable, which is awesome to know that this kind of stuff is helpful for you. I definitely will be doing more of it. So check all the links in the descriptions. Check it out. And maybe most importantly, make sure that you get the Next Generation Clarinet Method before those implementation emails start this afternoon at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever time zone that is for you. So thanks for watching. I won't see you next week because I'll be on vacation, but I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next Monday Music Motivation. Have a good